Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are all having just a fantastic evening, and I hope everyone's happy and well and in health. And I hope you guys been in positions for the different moves that are happening in the markets. And I want to start by making a few announcements. First of which is after class tonight. I hope you guys join me. We're going to be reading from Proverbs chapter 8. From today, and I do apologize about the last time we were in class. That towards the end of the class, my internet connection went very unstable, and Zoom kicked me out of the meeting, and I couldn't even load my charts after that. But luckily, it was right at the very end of our last charts that we were doing. So thank you. Superfood says the gold industry is testing blockchain technology to track the global market supply. Wonderful. The next bit of information, and again, I hope you guys join me after class, is I wanted to announce about dive for tomorrow night, which is Thursday, and Friday dive. I'll be making a post that I have to cancel dive for tomorrow night, Thursday, and Friday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so it's going to be Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Thursday. The next 2 days, whatever those days are. Today's Tuesday, right? So it's Wednesday and Thursday. Forgive me. And I'm having there's a church conference that's going on with a ministry that we're associated with, and Melody's been asking me all about it. I was thinking it was actually later. It's actually tomorrow night and the day after that. So it's in the evening, so it's about right now. In their time, it's in the morning. But I just wanted to, Melody had asked if we can make sure that we're focused up and we're ready to attend. So I do apologize about that, but I will be back on Friday morning, our normal time. That will be we'll be here. Next, 7 a.m. on Fridays, Lima time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For people, for house, I know you was just telling us that they just changed the clocks on you. They moved you forward in time. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Oh my gosh. And the next thing I wanted to announce, guys, I wanted to have a pre-release for our Sword Method 2.0 modules that are coming out, and I wanted to have the pre-release with the Zoom, and I had a lot of ideas about how it's going to work, but I do want to let you guys know that I am going to push that back. And the main reason I'm going to push it back is primarily because of the study guide. And what's happening with the study guide is that the study guide is becoming, it's going to one day become a book. But I want to focus more instead on the modules and focus on the study guide itself. Because the study guide that I'm writing for you guys, it's in a lot of it's in my iPad, but a lot of it's in my stack of note cards right here that I organize like a movie. And what I'm doing with the study guide is I'm putting a lot of the stories and anecdotes that I tell about price behavior, and I want to focus on the main 3 key principles of learning. I want to break them down throughout my trading. Throughout the study guide, and I'm really excited about how it's going to look. We're going to start with the main points of we're going to start with how what to do, and then we're going to start with how it works, which are the inner mechanics, and then we're going to go into the whys of a lot of the things that can help you navigate, because it's like this. We can do like an awesome map, for example. Just this is a simple map, right? Here's just a simple, this was just me drawing some simple things with Shiba, recalculating some of my lines. And if we were drawing a simple map for you guys, and then I'm not here, there comes questions in your minds about how to replicate. And when you see variables, or you see a lot of things like hidden battlers, or you see different principles at work, and I'm not here for you guys, it can become a very detriment to a person wanting to succeed. Because how do you take what you learn and apply it to a market that may not look exactly like Shiba? You know, these things make sense when you're there, but then when you're in the field, when you're all by yourself and you just have price action and it's forming new things, or there's new behaviors that you may not have seen before, and it leaves you a little bit flustered. And I've been taking what I've been learning in a lot of my science experiments and taking those type of principles and replicating them in price action. And with that, I love to teach rather why it works and how it works, rather than just what to do only, so that you become more rounded and you can improve on your skills. Because, you know, a lot of the sword method is giving you guys a toolbox. A lot of it's giving you the knowledge of how to navigate once you do have a map. And a lot of that's going to be coming full circle with you as you grow in the future, well after I'm gone. And I hope to be in your guys' life as long as I can. Okay, but the truth is that one day God's going to move me on to different ministries and different things. And he's going to be using me in different areas of my life. And I may not always, you know, be here, but as long as I'm in your guys' life, you guys are important to me. I love you guys. In the name of Jesus, I love you guys. I pray for you guys all, whether you love the Lord or not. You guys are close, and I appreciate every one of you guys who are watching these videos, the support, who guys spend time with me every day through the week, most days. You guys open up your homes, your lives, your ears, your emotions, your heart to me, and to Melody. And I just am humbled for that. I want to make sure that everyone is well equipped well after I'm gone. And as I've been focusing on the modules, I keep seeing visions of my mind of illustrations. And I keep seeing the illustrations that I draw like art, right? And I start thinking that the illustrations are the perfect way to really teach this way fast, so you can learn it, absorb it fast, because you can get a lot of clutter out of the way by understanding principles rather than just what to do. Okay, if I give you principles, that's the inner mechanics, that's the inner working, and I want to spend most of the study guide focusing on principles rather than just what to do. Okay. If I take you fishing, right? You know, they always say teach a man to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime. But if you just feed a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. YouTube videos are that I make are a lot of like giving a man a fish. The dive and watching behavior and watching and learning these things is a lot about teaching you how to fish. But then you have to go deeper into the inner workings and learn the principles of why you use those principles in different situations. If I'm going out fishing with the guide, I may be fishing at least around 4 feet deep. So I will choose a lure that stays more closer to the surface. However, if I was leading somebody fishing, right, and we're I'm teaching them how to cast and fish, right, and I'm not talking about net fishing, just pole, fishing pole. And we're fishing, right, and this I take this young boy out and this teenager, I'm showing him how to fish. I say, this is what you do. You're gonna do it 3 feet. Now, he may catch a fish and he may think that the rest of his life, it's going to be that easy. And that all he has to do is cast 4 feet deep. But what happens in the fall or in the winter when the fish are down? Now he needs to change his tactic. Okay, now he needs to change to something that is like a worm. Okay, that may be really slow. You got to make it look very easy for the fish. Or you might have to try a different approach. The minnows change color, so you may be using a charted choose type color, and now you need to change to something more darker depending on the season as the minnows in the natural water grow. So there's a lot of variables that they don't tell you about in fishing. And you get really so caught up in doing things one way, and then the market changes because there are different emerging market conditions that come up. But if I can give you guys principles, it's going to quickly quickly, what is that word? Strike your heart. It's not strike. It's quickly quicken your heart or quicken your mind to what type of behavior you should be expecting in certain types of seasons. And so this is why, as I was going through a lot of the module materials that I'm doing and some of the videos and things, I was like, I'm not happy. Although I love the method, I'm not happy with how I'm teaching it. And so I want to focus primarily on the study guide and through illustrations. If I can break down the hardest concepts into simple pictures, then we can build on those pictures the complexities that come with those various situations. Once you learn the different main principles, you can start going into the more stuff that doesn't come up as often. You're going to start getting into the nitty gritty. And from there, I can start really teaching more advanced things that are related back to some of the simpler principles. Okay, for example, when I'm teaching phantom parabolics, right? That's still a phantom angle. But if you don't understand parabolics, then it can be overwhelming. And you may not remember everything I say in a speech, in a module. And I kept thinking about this over and over again. Okay, we don't remember everything we learn in a speech. But I will tell you this. People remember an illustration. They remember a picture. They remember a drawing, something simple. And I keep having these visions in my head of these simple drawings breaking out almost like a children's book, but not, a little more advanced with writing. And from there we build on those principles. So what I've been doing is I've been organizing the method around this type of approach. And although it needs to be refined in the way that I'm teaching it, I'm very excited about this study guide and what it's becoming. I have the skills as an illustrator to illustrate really well, as some of you guys know. So it's just a matter of getting it down in illustration form. This is the approach I want to take going forward. Something that you guys can have as a PDF, and later we'll be able to print the study guide, and maybe it'll become a book, or who knows, maybe it'll be a bestseller, who knows. I'm more focused on making sure that you guys are able to absorb, and not just you, but people who come after us, people who come after you. You know what I mean? Augie, don't worry. I'm still gonna be here for a while, guys. Don't worry. I'm talking about in the future down the road. But remember, guys, if things that are hard in the beginning become easy later on, everything in your life that was once easy, that was once difficult, everything in your life that was once difficult was once very hard. That's what I've heard it said. Even tying your shoe was once very, very hard. Trust me, I know. I got spankings. Okay, so just I want you guys to bear with me another month or so, and I'm going to give you guys what we have of the modules and the illustrations, and it's going to be like in a PDF, and you guys are going to be able to get the PDF the book as a PDF, and it's going to be fun. And those unit modules we were going to do, the unit lessons, are going to be based on those chapters of the book, and so therefore the book is becoming like a study guide. And and instead of focusing so much on the book part, I'm focusing on the study guide part of it and the modules. So I will still be filming all the modules, or completing the filming, I should say, of those modules. But I'm also going to be stopping every now and then to give you guys the illustrations in the study guide format with the unit modules. So they're going to work like the same. We're going to have the classes, but it's going to be primarily focused on that section of the study guide. So you get practice, not just watching me, okay, over my shoulder, but you guys doing it and me watching you guys. Okay, so that's my big announcement that I really want to make, and I hope you guys are a little bit more patient with me, but you're gonna love it, and it's gonna be ingrained in your mind as we see it. Okay, all right, guys, I love you guys. Let's begin. Okay, sweet. Augie, right? Shoulder buddy to cry on. No, guys, don't cry. Don't worry, guys. When you guys hear what's When you guys, if you guys really knew what I really have in mind for all of this, you guys wouldn't be sad at all. You guys will be very happy. Okay, you guys will be really happy. But those are things you guys will find out in time. Okay. All right. Okay, where are we at? Let's open up our request that we have. I hope you guys, if you guys were curious about any of the cryptos we covered not so long ago, I hope that you guys have everything you guys were looking for in one of the other videos. If not, don't worry, there's tons of cryptos we're going to be going over. Okay. Let's start with USDT.D. I want to look at what's continuing to happen with the markets. Where's my USDT.D? Let's see what's going on in the market. Okay. Here we are. Now it's really great what happened. Again, over the weekend, we closed today. Ooh, I thought we were going to close yesterday. That's why. Oops, you guys can't see. Let me show you. All right, everyone. So we closed today on here, right below this line. This was one of the lines we were going to have trouble at, 386, and we closed below it, and we closed significantly below it. So this is a good sign for further prices. You may get a pullback back to 386 or so, but you would be in health. Okay, really, we can get a pullback all the way to this white line, and we'll still get in health. We want this chart, this one right here, to go down. Remember, when this one goes down, your cryptos go up. All right, what's been happening in the markets since we did this? We've been experiencing a bull run. All right, we've been experiencing a bull run. Right, and I told you guys health came into the market. There's been no changes. Okay. Our next supports, we can get some supports around the 370 area. This line here, we could be looking around 370 for a price to reverse a little bit. Then we may get that bouncing action here. That's very possible. Get me through that area, and I think we're going to hit the 360. Okay. The 360 area. Once we go there, we should be getting down to 324, and this will be good. I wanted to share something very interesting after I show XRP. So I want to share that something I saw that's been floating around the Intel community, and it's very, very interesting. We're gonna talk about that tonight. All right, here's XRP. Hope you guys are doing well with your XRP. I hope you guys got into position somewhere around the curve, or right at the breakout, or right here, or even now. Okay, because health is coming into the market. Everything in this video is not financial, investment, trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. Bear in mind, I eat red crayons for breakfast, and it sometimes makes me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If you guys are eating red crayons and you guys get sick, it's all at your own risk. Please read between the lines per my YouTube disclosure. Some of you guys know what it's like to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You're like, what is he talking about? They may not have Cocoa Puffs where you guys are from, and that's okay. I'm just gonna take this picture right here. I am still, remember guys, I am still bullish. I have a buy on XRP up to around $1.01, around there. All right, if it could hit that all the way April 4th, we should get around $1.04. If it hit it in May, if it doesn't hit until May 1st, you're looking around $1. So only about a 4-cent difference. But somewhere around $1. These are dynamic prices. So remember, we don't trade based on price alone. We trade based on behavior and structure. Okay, how price is responding to angles. A lot of times they're angles. Okay. All right. I want to show you guys this before we continue. Some of you guys remember this chart. We're going to take a little bit into conspiracy land, okay? Just a little bit, not too far deep at all. Okay, So I follow, and I have followed a lot of people in Intel community because I've seen a lot of the stuff happen. I follow people like Mr. Poole because it seems like every time Mr. Poole, we don't know who he is, but he's on Twitter. He is not on Telegram. There are people who just repost his stuff on there and other websites. Mr. Poole will post images, very interesting images. Sometimes they're very cryptic or sometimes very encoded. And people decipher the codes of what he says. But generally, the images he posts will be a part of a news article or an event in the very near future. Some are long-term, but some are very, very near, usually within the month. He'll post images of like a path walking through the woods and like the light, and then you'll see a major news article come out somewhere, some headline, with the same image, just a little to the left or a little to the right. And he's proven right time and time again. Mr. Poole posts a lot of stuff regarding the economy and XRP and financial resets and a lot of stuff like that people are still trying to decipher. There's a lot of people who do such things and people who decode such things. And I refer to a lot of these people as people in the XRP community or people in the Intel communities, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Without sounding too crazy, a lot of the stuff lines up with a lot of prophetic intel. So when I see things, and I've mentioned all of these before last year in some of my very, very first videos. So if you guys never saw some of those, watch them. In some of those videos, I talked about how I often use information from prophetic intel, from dream intel, and from Intel communities, and I put them together along with the data. So this is where I come in. And this is why some people talk about me online, because I talk about the data. I'm not super popular online, but I do have a few thousand people on YouTube. I talk about timing and windows and data. But I also listen to Intel community. I also listen to the dream community. And I also listen to the prophetic community. And when I start seeing things coming together, it helps me paint a better picture about what's happening and what types of things to expect. I don't just follow one person and I don't just believe one person, but I start looking at many of these things objectionably, because you guys all should listen objectionably. The Bible says that the Bereans were a more noble Christian because they studied the scriptures diligently to see if what the disciples were preaching was actually in the word. And so when they would see that what he was preaching was in the Bible, they were like, whoa, this is awesome. And they started being able to receive it with a stronger faith. And the Bible calls them more noble Christians. I think that's awesome that you can not just take someone's word for it, but go out and try and research it and study for yourself. A lot of the principles in Sword Method 2.0 are principles, not a lot of them, almost all of everything in Sword 2.0 is something you can do yourself, so that you don't always need somebody to guide you. One day you guys will be able to look, and it's great to do it in groups, and it's great to have somebody, and I'm love to be here for you guys. But the goal is to give you guys the skill and to see those things. So you have to think objectionably about everything that's been happening in the economy. This is kind of what I want to talk about, some of the things tonight. These are images called, this is an image from a special message that has been floating around the Intel community. I think like Baba Cugs maybe had something like this. Maybe it was from the Ripple Riddler. But this image has been seen over and over again. This is one such diagram. There are special numbers that are above here, so it begins. And a heart here. Everything is referring to some type of event that's going to be happening. And people have been trying to decipher this for about 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years now. Trying to decipher some of the intel. People have been referring to these three events, 1, 2, and 3, as phases. Well, I recently came across this, and this was just last night. And also, guys, you guys can see that in the mainstream media, a lot of the people who have origins and a lot of the people who have roots in the creation of cryptocurrency and a lot of the money, a lot of that sometimes, guys, is by elitists, globalists, people who are in secret places. You know, a lot of some of this stuff is not had bad origins. Just ask a lot of people in the prophetic community. However, the Bible also tells us what the enemy had meant for evil, God will turn around and use for the good. So we know that, we also know that all things work together for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purposes. Now, I want to say that there is a lot of open information that is shared in mainstream media for those who are awake. Maybe you may have caught some of these clues. I'm not teaching a lot about them, but sometimes they're all over the place. You can notice here how these two are connected, and this one's off to itself. Take a look at this one. This one's mostly off to itself, and these are the two that are connected. Mr. Poole posted this just the other day. I don't know if this is related to here, but check this out. Here we're going to see this this phase. This one's coming from the Breath in Joe's nostrils at Twitter, and I saw this on Extra VOD's website or YouTube video, and I took a screenshot because it was very interesting. Here is something else that refers to the three phases. Now, I've been studying that picture for a while as well, but when I saw this yesterday, it really made me think. So I want you guys to hear it. Take it all for a grain of salt. Take it for what you will. But these are in alignment with a lot of the prophetic intel, including the dreams and visions that I had. I had one dream and one vision last year about these things. Here it goes. Phase 1, XRP alt season. Speculative surge in price. Profit taking. Your pot of gold is delivered. Prices between single digits and double digits. Period end of March to April, end of Easter. So these are the period of time when phase 1 is supposed to be a surge in price, primarily in the altcoins. Now, this is on alignment with some of the prophetic intel that is going on with the altcoins, and it matches my data. Okay, my data has been pointing to prices of certain coins getting into position, and we also heard that Prophet Robin said in the spring many altcoins would do well, and you're going to see some more altcoins do well when Ether does well. Ether should even hit around 30,000, was it something like that? Or Ether, I think it is Ether. A few cryptos are supposed to be going good, but we're supposed to see a lot of altcoins going up, and I keep hearing that. Now, when I saw this, I thought this was very interesting because it goes along with the other timing that I had between, I told you guys, don't be caught without XRP towards the end of March, beginning of April. That's what I told you guys. Don't be caught with, past the end of March without some XRP ready to go, even if it's just a little bit, because I believe we're going to receive the big pumps. I don't believe that it's going to be activation, and I don't believe we're getting to thousands of dollars. I believe we're only going to about $12 based on the data that I see, because that's where mid-phantom is at on XRP. Once we get to that $12, there should be massive profit taking, because that's where profit taking was in the past on that same line. I believe that price is going to reject off 12, and we may go back down all the way to $3 from 12. There'll be a chance to reinvest. Now, last year when I was studying some of this stuff, I kept hearing that there would be a time to reinvest, that there would be a chance to reinvest. But when looking at the whole story as we're here in the future, I said, well, we haven't had a real pump anyway. So how is this the time to reinvest? Like, was the prices 25 to 1 cent? Was that it? Was that the move? I don't believe so. Personally, I believe that we still need a pump before we get the high. Now, when I saw the plane crash in the dream, okay, when I saw that there was a big plane crash, I knew that had been a big crash. I summarized from everything that was happening of XRP and the pump and what's supposed to happen with the utility aspect and everything, that we need to be very, very high before we fall. And we are just not there. So we still have to go high. A lot of stuff has to happen. How is it going to happen? And this is a mystery we've been trying to figure out. Listen to this next part. Phase 2. Collapse of the markets accompanied by a black swan event. A lot of people in certain communities are expecting some type of event, some type of black swan event. Let me try to move my head out the way. Let me see 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'm going to move my head out the way so you guys can see this. There we go. All right, so some type of black swan event is supposed to happen. Some of you guys know from the intel, certain intel communities like military intel, we some people believe that Trump is coming back. I have to be careful to use those words on YouTube, right? Some people believe 45 is coming back. Okay, you guys. A lot of people are waiting for an overturn. A lot of the prophetic community is speaking such things. They're talking about an overturn of events, and a lot of stuff is going to shake up the markets. But we also know some things are supposed to get a little bit worse right before a lot of stuff, and there's going to be exposure. There's a lot of stuff, and we're trying to figure out where in the timeline are we at. I think this is the perfect time to talk about these things because guess what? This is Sword Method 2.0. This is Dive. We talk about maps. You are here. Where are we going? This is things that we talk about, right? So why not talk about these things on a global scale, right? I think this is a good conversation. Check this out. Collapse of markets accompanied by a black swan event in phase 2. The period of this is the whole month of April and the whole end of April and the whole month of May. A drop of 3 months is expected. June, July, August. So we could, according to this, it's talking about prices going down from the end of April and May. For almost a month, prices going down. And then we have a period of 3 months where we're just dropped. And this also matches what Prophet Robin said, where that there would be some kind of subpar recovery. If there is a Bitcoin hack, I don't have data that it could happen soon, but if I were to put it on a map anywhere, taking things from Dreams, Intel, taking things from Intel communities, taking things from the data, and taking things from prophetic community, I would put a Bitcoin hack somewhere around after there's a lot of money to be made, meaning after a big pump of some prices of XRP or prices of something, some kind of big pump, and then a dump. Okay, I would pick the hack not at the bottom. That's not going to hurt people the most. It's going to hurt them at the top. So if I was going to hack, I would do it after some kind of big pump. If there was a hack, it may be the earliest, I think, end of April. If there's a big pump, it should be now, or it could be coming up now. We could be in those seasons. A lot of cryptos are being set up, and that's good. A lot of health has came into some health cryptos. Okay, now listen to this. Prophet Robin said subpar recovery after the hack. That prices should go down, and then there would be a subpar recovery, meaning the recovery wouldn't be as quick as we want it to be. June, July, August. This August date also matches with a lot of intel from other intel communities. Remember when people asked me, how soon could a lot of the regulations and stuff start? I said earliest, I think August. But I really don't think that would happen yet, not until the end of the year. But listen to this. Price plummeting along with other global markets. Government reaction to a new emerging financial system. So there'll be some type of government reaction to this. And then it says reinvestment opportunity. And there's that word, reinvest. So that means that there may be a period to invest first where there may be a big pump. And then it might be a time of a collapse and there may be a time to reinvest. Perhaps this is the phase 1 where we're going to see a big pump in markets followed by immediate collapse, subpar recovery, and then we may have another big pump. So what would that look like? Well, some banking systems and exchanges will go down completely. This is matching a lot of other stuff from the Intel community. Everything will fail. This also matches some of the hacking stuff that we hear about and the things that the government's actively preparing us for, a cyber attack. Remember, every time they try to simulate something, it eventually happens. They simulated a pandemic and then it happened. Not so long after that, within 2 years. Now they simulate cyber attacks. They just did it at the end of last year. They did the big cyber attack. We're in that period where it could be any time. Okay, nothing is certain in that stage of crisis and panic. Take care of your assets. The risk is too high. So according to this, in phase 2, there's going to be a reinvestment opportunity. It's going to be looking like the markets are down, and somewhere during those 3 months, June, July, and August, may be time to buy back some of our assets, okay? Now, it says nothing is certain during that stage of crisis and panic. This also matches some prophetic intel that tells us that things may be dangerous for a bit, okay? And then finally, phase 3, utility and clarity for the crypto market. XRP rises from the ashes along with other utility assets. The new quantum financial system is established worldwide with digital assets backed by metals, gold, silver, copper, palladium, iridium, ISO 222 standard, gold standard, CBDCs in operation, digital world, digital wallets. SWIFT operates with XRP resetting. QR codes everywhere. Period September 22nd to February 2023. True moon. Prices triple digits to quadruple digits. Many lives will change overnight. Generational wealth. New millionaires emerge. The increase will be gradual until 2030. This is not financial advice. This description is for merely a suppositive. A lot to break down there. Let's talk about it. XRP alt season. XRP alt season in phase 1 may be now. If a settlement is announced or nail in the coffin and it's now time to reinvest, and we're on that period up to $12, and it's now towards the end of March, April, and all this stuff is the time to boom, right? XRP just booms up. I believe we're going to hit $12. I really believe we're going to hit $12. But I don't believe that that pump is going to last us to $250 or $150 because that's what the data shows. The data shows that that's the high, but it also shows resistance at 12. So I think we're going to hit 12, come back down, and there's going to be another chance to buy XRP during these moments. Okay, somewhere along the line. That's phase 2. But again, phase 1, single digits to double digits. I believe $12 could be hit sometime, and who knows? It may be next month in April. But these are good things to just keep in mind because we're all trying to figure out the story. I provide data and help with timing windows. Other people provide other things, and this is what I'm getting from the story, okay? Now, go back to phase 2. So XRP and a lot of altcoins, we're talking probably like Shiba and a lot of other cryptos that are being set up as we speak. Like I showed you guys in some of the video pictures that Shiba is right at that point where you're at the bottom of the weekly chart maps. Shiba has massive potential to really rocket. If you're at the bottom for Shiba. Oops, hold on. Where's my map? It's okay, I won't worry about it right now. Okay, so we want to keep in mind some of these things. A lot of altcoins are coming into position. A lot of them are doing good. Some of them already had some pumps, and some are still yet to come. But everything's coming into health. So we could really be in this phase 1. Phase 2 is some kind of event at the end of April, possibly the end of April, in the whole month of May, where there could be a big drop in prices. What could bring about such a thing? It could be that the price is really set up towards that, but it also could be due to maybe a possible hack to bring prices down. Okay, government reaction to a new emerging financial system. If you start seeing hacks here and there and people are just burned out with all the manipulation, they could force their governments to try to bring about some of these regulations, which are already in the works, by the way. Okay, and then it could react into some kind of bad economy time. Certain banking systems, exchanges will go down. That's what we're hearing a lot in the intel, including Mr. Poole. He talks a lot of pictures of people with shocked faces. Some people like holding their minds as they're looking at their computers, their cell phones, their laptops. But phase 3 is very, very interesting. Phase 2 is where we could see XRP at 25 cents, possibly, very low. And we could see prices go high to a very low. Or it can happen like this. Phase 3, utility and clarity for the crypto market. When they get full regulation, This is what I'm expecting towards the end of the year. But according to this, it can happen sometime after August or between September to February. I believe it really is going to happen around December, to be honest. But utility and clarity for the crypto market. What does that mean? That means XRP is supposed to be activated for its utility, along with some of the other cryptocurrencies. XRP's utility is to provide a bridge currency for everything else basically in the whole world. And many countries are signing up left and right. Mr. Poole pointed something. Yes, this one is very interesting. He typed the word yes, and then it seemed like the next day or the next week, Yes Bank signed a partnership with Ripple to facilitate inbound remittances from North America, East, and the United Kingdom. XRP is a bridge currency, and a lot of people don't really know the utility for it. Okay, so when that network is the only network that we stand, and we replace the full SWIFT system, we should be using XRP in such deep ways during the future. Okay, the whole world's going to go to this type of network when the whole world is using CBDCs in operation. We're not currently using CBDCs, not to the level that you think. Like, we're all using paper money, but one day everyone's going to be using a digital form of the dollar. And having each dollar on the blockchain prevents counterfeit. It also guards against hyperinflation a little bit. Okay. And then here it is. The new quantum financial system is established worldwide with digital assets backed by metal. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. But look at this next point. Clarity for the crypto market. That is all the judges saying, okay, this is regulated and this is not regulated. This is regulated, this is not. And there's only going to be a handful that are going to be regulated at first. We know them as the ISO 222 coins. ISO 222. That's how we know these coins. They are Algorand, IOTA, XRP, XLM, XDC, and a few others. A lot of people believe that XDC is linked to copper, XRP is linked to gold, XLM is linked to silver, Algorand, and I think teams up with somebody else, and they're linked to platinum. There's another one that's linked to palladium, and IOTA is linked to iridium. These are all precious metals and supposed to be precious metal backs. They can help regulate a precious metal market. It's very possible that those are the things. We can't confirm all that, but there's a lot of intel that points to that. Take that for what you will. Now it says XRP rises from the ashes along with other utility assets. There are a few of these cryptocurrencies that have real live use cases. Some people believe XLM will be the silver or the people's coin, and gold will be the banker's coin and help run global markets for stability, and we'll have an everyday coin and everyday dollar. Similar to how John F. Kennedy signed the bill for our dollars to go on back to the silver standard. He was assassinated the week after he signed it, or the 2 weeks from when he signed it. And then Eisenhower, when he came back into office, his first thing he did was sign a regulation to get rid of that. But it was designed to be the people's dollar, silver. Okay, wasn't gold, but hey, it's still precious metal. Now, there are coins that have utilities to act in relation to some of these, including XRP. XRP rises from the ashes. That goes right along with the dreams that people had about XRP shooting up like a rocket overnight. I had the same dream. Remember, guys, I put, there's a video, it's on my website, on YouTube, on my channel, JSong Presents, and I talk about the dream that I had last year about some kind of event where there's I just woke up and overnight I was a millionaire and I had a big delivery truck bringing me all these blessings. And he gave me a paper and I said, whoa, where did this all come from? I thought he towed my car away because I saw it's like this big truck. And he's like, no, I had to move your car because now you're super rich. You have all this new stuff. Or, he basically said that this is all for you. Now in my mind, I was feeling like I was rich, but he didn't say I was super rich. But the thing is, he just moved my car to make room for all the blessing I was receiving. And the paper that I received was to the owner, to the holders of XRP. And there was some other writing on there as well. I thought that was very interesting because a lot of people keep having the same or similar dreams where overnight price is going to boom. Now that's also what happens in the Intel community. And as I started studying, A lot of people in the Intel community are expecting XRP switch to be flipped overnight. How does this work? As I told you guys, I really believe there's going to be some type of final event, a financial crisis of something's going to lead to this point where we need regulation and we need stability. So we need to get rid of our old dollar, either due to hyperinflation or a lot of stuff, but we need to get rid of the old system and we need to go on to this new financial system, and it's going to be supported by CBDCs, which are supported by the XRP utility. Okay, this is the actual what XRP does. It's not just a cryptocurrency, it's a utility. It's like electricity or internet, okay? Something like a utility. Now, overnight, when this is announced, I believe there's going to be some kind of announcement. I believe it's going to be within a 7-day period of everything shutting down. I think there's going to be some kind of thing where there's a shutdown completely, and this is what it matches. I thought, wow, this is really interesting. This goes right along with what I believe is really going to happen from what I've heard from other areas. If that happens, then when it's time to start trading again, there'll be an announcement. It could be by the president. It could be by, lots of places around the world. They're going to say that everyone's chosen to use XRP to use the regulated coins, and the only ones that are regulated and ready to go are XRP and the ISO 222 coins. But because XRP was first, it will be the first out of the gate. If they start releasing cryptocurrency to trade again, the only ones that really are able to be traded are XRP and a few others. What do you think is going to happen to the price of those at those times? I believe Bitcoin will go away during those days or not come back for a while. And I've seen people who have that dream about the XRP train. It just comes and there's other coins following, but the first one out of the tunnel was XRP. And so we see a lot of that from the dream community, and this matches a lot of that kind of stuff. But I need you guys to know that the Firebird is the symbol for XRP. When they show it in all the riddles, it's the Firebird. It rises from the ashes. Some of you guys seen the Capitalist papers that they did 30 years ago. They show the coin. It looks like a crypto coin, and out of it is coming some kind of Firebird, a phoenix. Okay, the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's supposed to be XRP. So a lot of guys, this stuff sounds crazy, but a lot of this stuff has been planned for years. And if you guys don't believe me, just go down those rabbit holes when you feel like digging, because they go deep. Last things we'll say, QR codes everywhere. The Swift operates with XRP resetting. That's currently what's happening. Swift has used XRP as proof of concept, where they're using their technology instead of their own. They're actually using their technology under the name Swift. And they did that for 2 years without you guys knowing. It was in their documents and people revealed it. It's there. These are not conspiracy theories, but they sound like it. QR codes everywhere. Everyone pays with like a QR code. You scan your phone, you pay with money, you little scan, you pay, you take a picture of something, you click pay. Every money sent by like everybody having a crypto wallet. But remember, with XRP to do this type of transactions, it costs 0.008 of a cent. It's basically free. It costs almost nothing to buy stuff with XRP. With Bitcoin, it's like very expensive, like in the $70, $50 to buy $5 items. True Moon, after sometime between 2022 and February 2022, True Moon, and I believe that XRP overnight is going to soar, or the real price of XRP is going to be revealed. And of all the glitches people see about XRP glitching and jumping to like $9,000 and $10,000, $17,000, they keep seeing these all over the internet. And you guys probably seen some of them. They're on YouTube videos or on some of these other websites. People have not hit the refresh button on the computer to prove to people, like, look, I showed this. And the real price of XRP will be exposed for like just a few seconds. And that's happening currently. So that happens sometimes, every few months it seems. But it says the True Moon, which will be the true boom of price. So I believe this current boom up to $12 is not the True Moon. I always tell people that. I think that when it goes up, we're going to go to thousands. And here's what it says. Triple digits to quadruple digits. Some people believe the price of XRP is closer to around 4,000 something, and that there'll be some kind of buyback in the future. I believe it will happen during these days. It says many lives will change overnight. That also matches Intel community. Generational wealth. New millionaires will emerge. This matches prophetic community, Intel as well. The overnight things, the dreams of everybody, just waking up overnight and price just went to the moon and beyond. The increase will be gradual until 2030, a new season of prosperity, a new season where things are coming back to how they should be. And so I'm going to just take a picture of this, and I'll let you guys, I'll leave this all with you guys on the website, because I just, when I saw this, I really wanted to share it with you, because it is like a play-by-play of some of the things that I've had in my heart to share about. And I've spoken, sometimes you guys after class, I never really speak in a video about these things, but this will be recorded as a video for you guys. Okay, that was a lot, but it makes me excited, and it gives us more of a timing window. Okay, so you guys don't have to believe it, but interesting, right? Where did you see that, says Vic?
Makes me think of the expression "selling mad, go away."
Selling bro, man. Yeah, you're probably right. If that's a good timing. This was a screenshot I took from Extravod's video today. He follows the Twitter, but that guy is a Twitter. There's a lot. Once you start going down the Twitter path, you're gonna find a lot of people in the riddle community, and there's a lot of riddles. I won't get into them, but they are like that. So it begins thing. There's a lot of intel given out by people, and a lot of people believe these are insiders in like the XRP, community. In various places. We'll just leave it like that. Mr. Poole on Twitter. Jamal put it there. Where did you see that? Who was it? The guy's name is... this one is... His name is... it may be Leo589, but it... I'm sorry, that one... he may have posted this, but we don't know who it came from. These numbers at the bottom, oh, you guys can't see it. Let me show you. These numbers at the bottom are encoded messages. 311, 911, 1131. Those are not phone numbers. Okay, those are encoded messages. But from what I understand, it's from the breath in Joe's nostrils. Where he got it from, you guys will have to take a look. But the reason I'm showing it, again, the breath in Joel's nostrils. The reason I'm showing it is because it matches a lot of what I've studied last year. Okay. Some people believe the whole thing was supposed to happen already, but that everything was pushed back due to all the shenanigans going on with the pandemic. Sorry, I got something in my throat. Okay. With that said, let's look at some crypto. What cryptos would you guys like to look at today? Otherwise, I'm going to start throwing some cryptos out. XDC. Okay. XDC, XLM is what I'm looking at right now. XLM did not get the pullback. I don't like the structure here. If it was me, I would have chosen a different crypto just because I don't like the rounding, even though it works. I like to get a nice pullback when you take it. Some people will take it after the health. I would have taken this after the second health, which is here. I would not have taken it here. I don't like that. We came up to there, stopped, had one pullback, and then I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to bounce and stay in here. But this one just went right to health and went right to its resistance, right at 24.36 on March 23rd. And this happened on March 28th. We kind of came to this area, and we need to break above it before getting your next behavior. So if you guys are updating yours, I'm just going to move that to the side. We need to clear this level first before going up to the next level. And then from there, you get the break above there, you should be able to get to 0.33 cents XLM. I'll take a screenshot of this. See, is it better having my picture here on the side, guys? No. Wow. Do you like my face here, or do you like it here?
No, on the left, because it's
Okay, so it's better here?
Yeah, because the time frame's further away from us.
Okay.
Can you put it down? Can you
Son?
put it down
Yeah.
from there?
Okay. What were you gonna say?
Anywhere it's okay.
Wow. I wanna make sure that we're doing it good for a good view for them. How about right there? Is this better? All right.
I was gonna say, I don't know. There's always one.
Suki-san, anywhere.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay. You guys are just messing with me. Look. All right. There you go. Okay. Let's take these pictures here. I want to make sure that since you guys are watching these videos, you have to live with my face. I'm good. Huh?
The date.
The date.
Yes. Have blessings of my son.
How much is that?
25.
I thought a lot about you today. I was thinking, man, I was putting,
Send it before April.
yeah,
Send it before April.
I was adjusting all my crypto accounts today and making sure that I had moved some of my older positions into XRP. I was like, I'm gonna move to XRP. A lot of my positions, I'm in Shiba, XRP, ANKR, and no, I'm not an ANKR, and no. The trade's fine. The trade's fine. I just I realized I was in a few older ones and I didn't move to ANKR when it was time. So I missed my buy order, but it's something I would buy. Not everything's something I would buy. But the other one I had was I was moving my money around, putting my limit orders in for when we hit certain targets, so I can take my profits and get out. And everything was according to what's on my buy list. So if you guys are watching my exact buy list, that's exactly what I put in as my sell limit. So once you're in a trade, I go into my exchange and I type in get out at such and such price. So when we go there, and if I'm asleep, price will hit that and get out, and I'll take my profits, and then I'll just get back in the trade if there's another trade. Okay. I might be looking for XLM once we're here, but again, I moved a lot of my position and a lot of my older cryptos that I was in to XRP in these last days because I told you guys I'm gonna get a big XRP position before the end of March.
Did you get the Telegram video I sent you?
How long ago did you send it, House?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I may not have seen that one. I don't think I got anything from you. Did you send it to my j.song7784 at icloud.com?
No, I sent it to your Telegram.
Oh, to my Telegram. Oh, I have to take a look. Okay. But I'm going to write that down.
About a guy who got on an airplane and went to Poland and then got trained into Kiev a couple of weeks ago with a phone and recorded some things. I can't say too much.
Really?
on that.
Okay. That sounds interesting. All right. So we want to look at XDC and I want to look at ANKR. I want to see how we're doing right now. Make sure we're still in health.
You didn't change the date?
Oh gosh, Michelle,
It's the 29th.
what's the rule for that?
Wow, 2 XRPs.
Ah, gosh, is that the rule, House? Is that the rule, Superfood?
Well, that's 26 now.
Okay, so 26. So this is what I was thinking. I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to pay up almost 30. I said I'm gonna have to pay out almost 30 XRP to Michelle. I told her I was gonna pay her next month, so you'll see some type of. I want to pay her before the move happens because then it's gonna be less painful. Right? It's gonna be hard to pay out 30 XRP at $12. I'm like,
You're going to be like Da Vinci used to send people Bitcoin for free.
did he?
Yeah.
And what now? Does he feel it? The pain?
There was a guy, he's a Christian guy, and Da Vinci was going to send him some for free, but they were so cheap, he didn't follow it up, and it's just amazing.
You know, no, I'll feel good if, especially if we go up to 12 and then we come back down. I would love to just get another round of 60-cent XRP, because then I will never feel bad about giving Michelle any XRP, because I'll be like, if I didn't buy any at 60 cents, that's my own problem. That's my own fault. And if you guys don't buy any XRP at 60 cents, that's your problem too.
So you think it could go from $12 back down to 60 cents?
I think we're gonna go to 12 to 3, have a pump to 6, to be honest. But after we get around 6, I think there's gonna be some kind of hack during somewhere around those events after our initial pump, and then we're gonna be we'll be taking a dive down to some of those levels. But I also believe that we're really gonna get down to 25 cents just before the final financial crisis, or just before the big pump. You know, so it could be when XRP is reactivated again. It could be during that 7-day period that I told you guys that could last. Somewhere there's going to be some type of moment when XRP goes really low, but it's just going to be low for a very, very short time. And that also matches some of the dreams from Dream Communities.
Yeah, like Prophetess Sharp.
Yeah, which she talked about me once in her video.
Yeah, she's
And here's the crazy thing. At the end of my dream, some of you guys you'll watch it. At the end of my dream, the angel asked me about Sharon. He was like, you said something about Sharon or Sharon or something, Rose of Sharon. And I was thinking, I was going to tell him about the Rose of Sharon and what the meaning was. But he said, what did you mean to tell me about Sharon? And I was like, what do you, like, oh, okay, maybe I'll teach it. But then the dream ended. I really believe that I thought he was talking about the Rose of Sharon, which is like the biblical references of the Rose of Sharon. He was asking me a biblical question, but he was really, and I believe he was an angel, but he was really the delivery man in the dream. But I really believe that it was referring to Sister Sharon from Now Daily Bread. All right, XDC. We might have to do some work on this chart. Okay. XDC, we have weakness that appears after at this 0.0589 dynamic. Okay, these two lines, it's possible that price could start performing underneath this line, but we haven't had that reaction. In fact, the first time we came below, we came right back above and did not respect the line either way. So we really shouldn't be respecting this line too much, although it did act like a support before this final bounce. And it's related to this, okay? So that's just something that I really, once you start seeing it not responding to the line, don't look for it to do something like this, because you already lost your opportunities to do it. So no longer look for it to come like this. If it's not respecting it as a roof, it can respect it as a floor, but it needs to. And it needs to have that. Here, I would now delete something like this behavior for this line, but I would not. But I wouldn't be so unassumed as to say it would be a behavior at these lines, either here or here. Now, the reason I'm not apt to believe it's going to be this line and why we're going to fade this one out is because also it disrespected this line a few times. It could act like a floor, but I don't believe it's also going to act like a roof. The one line it hasn't disrespected on the underside is this line. So therefore, again, this is going to lose its power, okay? So my thinking behind this is that when price was falling underneath this line that we drew as part of our key angle analysis, we did not have any response on the underside of here or there, but we did stop here recently. The other things we can do to make sure that this is correct is look at it on a weekly chart before deleting it. Because if you don't see it responding on a smaller time frame, look to see if you do have responses on the larger time frame. And in this case, it paints a different story. Okay, who sees what's going on here? Okay, number one, This line, this bottom red line, price came all the way down here and stopped right there. It pushed it all the way back. This line was holding. Okay, so this line did have a response, significant response. Number two, this line here is still holding. It didn't look like it on the daily chart, did it? Zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger story, because it may hold clues about what's happening. And in this case, we can see. Now, if there was nothing here on the weekly chart, then we would fade those lines like we did. But here's why we're not going to do it now, because look at this. Response, response, response. Response. Price boomed up right to this line. So we need to look at this story a little bit more zoomed out before we take it for face value at the daily chart, because the daily chart will stop making sense and we'll say, oh, well, price is not responding. It's just not responding. Let's do a whole nother analysis. But remember, guys, there could be a trade on the weekly time frame. Your lines could be correct. So this is not a recap of how to create these key angles, although you can. Remember, here's the key angle here. You could do that. There's actually two sets of key angle on XDC. This is a mid-phantom, I believe. Well, actually, I don't know. I have to read. I have to find the old videos for when we did that first analysis. But at either rate, I can help you about navigating through these current lines. I'm going to keep this on here, and we're going to move this arrow behavior somewhere like this, because really you may be doing exactly this. And we could come down. I will fade this one out just a little bit by thinning it, and I will thicken up this one to put more importance on what's happening right now, just for our eye's sake. If we round and stop or continue to reject here, look for us to go down here. That's what I would do. Since we're past this area here that sucked price down just a little bit, I believe, we are now past this area. We don't really have to worry about so much that intersection anymore. The lower prices for XDC are closer to around 0.04 cents. Current prices of XDC are 0.059. Okay, so about a 0.020 of a cent difference. Okay. Where are we right now? Are there any topside health that's in XDC? Let's take a fresh look.
Can I mention something?
Yes, sir.
So I think I heard you say that XDC is one of the ISO
Yeah.
200. I forget how to say it, but it's partly.
222. Yeah.
And in conjunction with that, each of these coins has a link to a given, I guess you could say, precious metals, or like a
Supposed to be.
particular commodity.
Yep.
So even though XTC is not related to silver, I just wanted to put out there, there was news last week that the U.S. Mint was not able to keep up with the supply and demand.
Ooh.
So they ran out of the blank silver rounds with which to mint new coins. So I think that could be great news for those of us who are,
Whew.
for anyone who may be collecting silver for the purposes of, the wealth transfer when it gets redone.
That is very good news.
Oh, and do you know which precious metals do you know which precious metal is linked to XDC?
Supposed to be copper.
Thank you.
No
It's gonna
problem.
be like the copper token.
stuff, pretty much any of your pennies that have real copper in them, the face value is worth a lot less than the actual metal content. So keep those coins, because at a point not too far from now, they're going to be worth a whole lot more than the face value.
How much is a silver dollar worth? Is it 30 bucks? Oh, I knew someone was gonna say that.
I think it's around 32.
Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah.
Here's something interesting with XDC. So XDC, I used a fire line to identify a key angle on XDC. So this is XDC on the weekly chart. Okay, remember that's on a weekly chart. I'm using Bitfinex as my exchange. In our fire module line, one thing I see drawing from the cores here, so we'll put core, okay, with the white. Let's just use a pen, okay. CR for core, so you guys can understand that's core. And then core here. Here's a verification, and here's your other verification here, here, and then price would have crossed over here. A type of sword cut would have been in this area. But check this out. The reason I don't believe this sword cut is the most strongest, okay, even though it would have been in this area, is because this should be the area where there may be the strongest sword cut based on some of this flow here. I think this parabolic kind of just sharpens up, and it just sharpens up and it cuts through price just right there. So I believe there may be a big sword cut that has not yet to be hit. I mean, just a little bit, right? But nothing like a swing. And therefore, we might expect a high resistance area once we're here because it's virgin. So it's gonna give us a big reaction of some kind, either to the top side or to the down, because it's just never been hit. Now, keeping in mind the key angle here, duplicated at different energy centers, like the bottom of some of these big flows. Sorry guys, this is not a tutorial, but just a little bit of what's actually happening. As price is flowing down, we came for a brief stop here and went up. So I used the bottom of that energy center to verify this resistance. This is the same line. Wait, let me go back to my key angle. This is the same line up here, okay? From here, that's the same exact top. Okay, you guys see that? And there was a reaction there. Now, again, the key angle at the bottom of this energy source, at the lowest core, the lowest red one, I'm getting response here for verification. Here for verification. And then I stopped getting verification. I mean, a little bit here in these areas. Now, I brought it again to the bottom of this energy center. Okay, I forgot to give you the source points. I brought it here to the bottom of this energy center. And this is this line here. But also, I brought it to the bottom of this energy center, especially before we got a big pump up. Look at some of the origins. This energy center, this one, and this one are the ones you can draw. But this is the last one before we pumped up. So I brought it here. And that gives me these bottoms. When we had a big pump, we went down to that bottom, and then we rest. So it could be that XDC actually does have some support, okay? And according to some of our newest map points here, we would be looking therefore for a breakout above here of some kind. So we need a behavior here. We need the breakout for XDC. Alternately, we can, on XDC, have a breakdown. We might be looking at this area here as a potential danger, but we can also break down anywhere in between. Okay. In the meantime, price can actually flip right there and move into some weakness. That would be a little bit weak. Well, a little bit strong and a little bit weak because it would be underneath this line, but on top of this local one. More stronger is the overall trend, and therefore it is a little bit weak. Okay. Real sick prices would be when we're underneath here, this bottom, because this is the last main supports we got. So anything under here would be sick. So we don't want to be entering into those areas. This would be sickness. This would be also weaknesses. But this is our major opportunity for us to break above and then hit this line up here. I would not, if it's me, I would not take this in one single trade if I was you guys. I wouldn't take XDC up past this line of 13 cents. That's going to be around 0.13 cents. I would not trade it in one single unit. If I was buying XDC, if you guys buy, I would exit at 13 cents and then wait till it clears that before getting back in. Take it in two parts, two behaviors. Okay, I would definitely, that would be me. And the reason again is because this cut is very, very flowish. So it's just one flow. This is what I see. I really see this as a flow, and therefore this would be a cut. And I would be cautious of those prices lest I get some kind of rejection down and then have to build up health or get stuck in a trade that I don't want to take. Just take the profit, and then if we clear and start building up there like structure, buy again, and then you can go from there, and maybe possibly we'll look at these as resistances up here possibly. Okay, but until then I would take it in two parts. Okay, I'm gonna draw some of these lines on an XDC chart and see where we got. Okay, I'm gonna delete some of these other lines based on some of these older stuff. It's this key angle here. Should be the same one. Oh, I see what I did. I know why I have that line there. Because it's a channel. Okay, I must have did this when I was doing Sword 1.0. Okay, it's been a while since I drew these lines. I think since last year. And I'm just gonna quickly delete many of these lines right here and just redo my current analysis. That sword cut is still the same area. So if you guys have my older maps, it should be still in that same area around 1298. That's still the right place. And let's borrow one of these lines. Okay. Where did I originally create that key angle? On top as a fire line. Okay. For now, I'm gonna leave it just bright orange so you guys can see it. I'll fix it later to make it my fire red color. But right now I just want to clone my line where we need to go. Okay, that's that one. Good. Perfect. Oops. Perfect. And bring this one down. Lowest red core there. All right. Ah, the picture is becoming a lot more clear now. Okay, good. Let's delete this green one. We don't need that. Here's where that sword cut breaks more carefully of that flow. Here's that parabolic, that one I drew for you guys. This is a more local parabolic, but there is also a global parabolic. It's there, but there is the global parabolic on the weekly chart as well. Both of them almost end in the same exact area or way. If you draw both, if you're drawing both individually, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you extend and widen your range for your sword cut. Okay, make sure you make it real thick and wide, just like how I showed you guys of clicking the sword cut and using this button and bringing out wide. Okay. All right, and with that, I'm going to end XDC, but I will leave these updated map points here, and I'm going to just draw those areas real quick on some of the more important ones. Okay.
Were you going to look at ANKR?
Yeah. XDC. All right, so we looked at XLM, we looked at XDC. Let's look at ANKR. Ooh, I like that chart. Okay, let's look at ANKR. Where are we at on time? I spoke a lot today about things I think is very important for everyone to be aware of. 121, we're almost out of time. Okay, ANKR is still good. We are at the top of our target. Okay. We're at the top of our target. We actually hit 0.09091 pretty well. It's possible you'll get some kind of resistance, but I wouldn't be so concerned about it. And the reason is because price hasn't respected here both sides either much. So for it to stop here, it's just because it's been a long time, maybe since it came. But I don't think this line is the thing to push prices all the way back down to the beginning. You may get a little pullback, but I don't think it's going to be so much. I think this is just the natural resting point for price to breathe a little bit. I think you're going to finish getting on here to your target at 0.96.2. So I think you're going to be just fine getting to your target. But I would not trade. Huh?
Oh, no, sorry, but you're going to, for example, the place to close the position would be 94, yeah?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, you could close it a little bit early. I think on my watch list, I put that we close ANKR at 94. Okay. ANKR strong exit at 94. The reason I put 94, even though you could actually do it at 96, is because I always leave a margin of error. You always leave a margin of error. Sometimes the market's really shy. I've also seen it taught in my early days, although I don't know if I fully agree with this teaching about trend lines, but they tell us that when price is scared of a trend line, that means this trend line is really powerful. I'm still on the fence of that because I'm so used to my trend lines having to be very exact that I don't really pay attention if it's not so exact. But at the same time, I do on a very massive global scale. Sometimes there's a lot of margin of error where you'll see prices really a bit shy, and I attribute that to a margin of error rather than just the fact that it goes against the trend line. What I'm saying is a little complicated, but at any rate, just leave yourself a little bit before a line or after a line if you're trading to be exact. Okay, guys? Michelle, I updated the date to save some money.
Very good.
Woo. Okay, and I wouldn't take the trade right now. There's not much money left on the table anymore, but you might. You might. I think DOGE, I think right as I was posting that sell with DOGE, I had the pictures before, and there was just a big pump in DOGE, like right after I had put the buy. So when I updated the list and I looked back at the chart, the price was like, I think just it was a lot more than during class. I was like, oh man. All right, ANKR. Was there some we needed to look at specifically for tonight? And I'll let you guys know that this is I'm opening this up because tomorrow I have that conference, guys. Tomorrow night and the next night. So I will be here with you guys on Friday morning, but Wednesday and Thursday there's not going to be a dive in the afternoon. So use me up now while you have me, if you need.
Could you do a quick recap on the curve?
Curve, yeah, absolutely. Extra buy. Thank you, Superfood, for posting that extra buy. Oh, Mark, thank you for posting that video. Starting to sound like another weatherman. This is the best coin out there so far. 222. I was $8 in January. Now hit 54. The name of the coin was in the name of the coin is Waves. We should keep our eye on this one. Waves, we might look at that one. But you wanted to look at Curve, right? All right, let's look at Curve. We haven't done Curve in a while. Did it have another name? Oh, CRV. Here we go, right? Ah, good. Ooh, this is interesting. When did we last look at Curve? February 12th. Okay, February 12th, where are we at? Okay, I said Curve has two targets that have been hit based on its sword cut price is more likely to go down based on its own structure, but there are two signals. It's better to wait for breakouts to get the confirmation. I would not take any buy or sell action at that time. Okay, so February 12th. I'm curious. We were here. We hit our bottom line almost exactly, but we didn't really start trading structure underneath until right here. Okay, so we started trading. We spiked down to our line and then stopped right at the sword cut. This is why sometimes if you see a sword cut, guys, and it's next to a line, there's a lot of times when price will spike that thing and yet still respect the sword cut. This was just kind of pushing through with a real funny shape. It's a little bit like rounding, but if you look at it closely, it's really puncturing on the underside of price both times. So it's a little bit dangerous to take that as a buy. Okay, you'd want to make sure that you clear a line that you would draw from these locally. Here is some support, but this is local support. Settings, okay. This is just your local support of what's going on here. There's a pump right here, a sit down, and then price is going back into these areas. So what's really happening? Let's take a look at the weekly chart and see if we can really find what's going on. This is a sword cut that was based on this big flow here, and then that flow is here going back to the roots. So that should show on the weekly chart very well. Let's see if it's true. Yes. Okay, so this is actually a key angle. So if you guys were doing, you can put a big KA. That's your key angle. Okay, core, draw the line. I'll take a screenshot of that if you guys want to have that. Now, check this out. We are looking at price rejecting, and you can see on a bigger scale that we kind of curved up, but this is just two candles. So later on, if we get this big swing, you may also have trouble here. Again, one more time. So move these off to the side, move your targets up higher, more money comes on the table if you get into health. Okay, now we're looking for something like price to clear those and then get up to some of these other levels. If it did that. Overall, we're gonna bring these key angles out just one more time. I'm gonna draw them real quick. And this is the line that my eyes see. But take a look at this. If you bring out this line to the lowest wicks, which is the lowest wick, it's still the same key angle, but now bring it out to the lowest wick. You notice something very interesting is happening. Here, price came down and stopped right there and now rejected. So this is a little bit sick. The fact that it didn't bounce on these cuts here, or this cut here that I had, is also a little bit sick. So I would not, if it was me, I wouldn't use curve as a big buy because I don't really see any proper setup or structure that would lend itself to any kind of long-term thing. You might get a pump, but you got to be careful because this is starting to look like a little bit of head and shoulders if you do get the pump. Especially if you reject that sword cut, it's going to look like this, my friends. And then this would be the shoulder and this will be the head. And then that's cause for a price to go down. This may be one you want to watch for shorting later on in the future because that's something that's possible. I'm going to put the word possible and then I'm going to delete this. Possible future. Okay. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of that. Okay, but I would, if it was me, I wouldn't worry so much about this crypto right now. It doesn't look as healthy as I would want it to be. Let's update the date. Any other cryptos? Don't be shy. Oh, CRV, March 29th. Okay. I'm sure there's more analysis we can run on here, but I just don't like the health of it at the moment. It could do well. It could do well, but for a longer term, I just would kind of avoid it right now if it was me.
Jason, you have a request to explain Doge Bull or any coins that are 3x long,
Okay.
as well as Bitcoin regarding the drop. I think that one was actually the first request.
Mark was telling me that Doge Bull is linked to Doge. Oh, did I miss I may have missed some of you guys' request. I do apologize. So you're looking for Doge Bull. We talked about that one the other day. Let's take.
Basically, it's the Dogecoin 3x long. It's called Doge Bull. It's the nickname for 3x long.
Yeah, which is basically just Doge.
That just a leverage trade.
Okay.
You place an order, it's like you're playing with 3 times the money you place the order for. You can also lose 3 times the money if it goes against you.
And these examples focus on Doge when it is there. On Doge Bull, it's more like you have we should be seeing some resistance around here, around those areas. Okay. This is around 357 dynamic or around 326 dynamic, meaning it depends on the day that it hits it. If it hit tomorrow, it would be around 355. If it hits it in April 18th, it's going to be around 248. Somewhere around there, we may get the rejection, but we're really looking for this big pump here. You get some health here. I wouldn't take the trade from here to here, but you can use that as a sign of strength coming in the market. You do not want to be taking the trades down here unless you have proper structure. Here would be sick. Okay, but these are just some of my basic maps that I put on this Doge Bull. So I did show that here. I didn't put a date on here.
That chart should almost be identical to the Dogecoin.
Almost, right? Almost, but look, this is easy to see here, and on Doge it wasn't. So that's very interesting to note. And it's like some of these XRP ones or the Bitcoin 3x ones, some of them, I heard those rumors they weren't paying out like how they should, because when price went down, they should have went down and they didn't. And they did a deep analysis of those like side by side and they weren't the same. And when I look at this chart, it doesn't look exactly like Doge. Look at Doge. It's a huge difference.
I think some of those are calculated like weekly or something.
It's possible. Possibly. As far as Doge goes, if you guys are concerned about Doge, I believe Doge is in now health period. We had, see, it's the same kind of thing, guys. Remember those 2 lines I showed you just on the last chart? Well, it's the same kind of deal. We came up to that green line and then just got stuck for a little bit, came right back down to the red, used it as support, broke above, health came in. This was the line, and now you're starting to round down towards health. You can be healthy all the way on top of these lines. I don't want to be healthy here, but I'll still take it. But generally, you want to be above either this one or that one, or building structure. Especially if we get a nice round down, that's perfect for launching through. But at the moment, it's just healthy. So some of you guys will take the trade based on this nice curve. I love it. I love it because these are the type of curve you want when getting longer term charts. So I put DOGE as a buy. Okay, good round structure where it should be with health. Trade from 1387 to 1819. I bought some DOGE today, and I made sure that I got out at 18. I think I did it a little bit before 1819. I have to check, but you can get around 1790, 1780, something around there. But just manage your trade well if you guys are in. Everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any kind. I'm very happy with the DOGE. Okay, so be looking for that structure. You're in health. You finally broke out. Don't worry about all the noise intraday, guys. A lot of you guys pay attention to the markets too intraday. I know there's people who trade intraday. That's great. Use these map principles you're learning in conjunction with some of the lower time frames, or keep your higher time frames and draw your 1 hour charts with a thin dotted white line, a thin level, dotted white line, like level. When you're drawing a line, make sure it's dotted. Make sure that it's number 1 and make it white. You can barely see it now, right? Because that's what you do if you want to differentiate between what is not as important, your intraday stuff, and what's important on the global scale. On the global scale, you want to be in this area. So it doesn't matter so much what's going on in the little day. You're like zigzag. Don't worry about all that stuff. Okay? People think, oh, we're going down. Well, look at the overall story and you'll be more at peace. Okay? It's when you start trading in those areas. That's when you start, becoming more concerned. Okay? Let's update this date. March 29th. March 28th. March 28th, where I was putting that information. March 29th is the day of this photo. All right. Okay. Right now you're touching your line, but you broke above it the other day, so don't worry so much. I wouldn't be concerned as much about that. Okay. Any other questions about these cryptos, or any questions related to the topics that we spoke about today, for our class? I know I gave you guys a lot to talk about. Also, guys, I've been putting up the watch list on the website every day. So when there's something. Is BTC supposed to drop tomorrow? Is BTC? That's a good question. Let's take a look at BTC. Nope, that's the old BTC. BTC, we should be, well, there's one resistance that you just had recently, but generally we should be continuing up to around 44,000. If it happens next week, it's going to be around 49,499, if my maps are right. Don't have to worry so much about that one. You will need another behavior. Let's duplicate this. You'll need another behavior above 49K, which is that arrow right there. You need that price. You need to get above there. You could have a pullback, but generally Bitcoin is in health and you should be able to continue up. I don't like this big scrubby scrub type of breakout, but it's still what it is. You can still go up and hit it. It's still healthy. Okay. I don't have anything that's telling me Bitcoin's supposed to go down tomorrow, but we would need to do more intraday. You would want to look next at an 8-hour chart if you have it, and then at a 4-hour chart if you don't have that. From there, go to a 2. Don't do what I did the other day with XRP. I went right from a daily to a 1-hour chart or a 2-hour chart. Go from 1 to 8 if you have it, or 1 to 4, and then 4 to 2, and then 2 to 1. Look at the trades on those scales. If it really helps, I told you guys the other day, I want you to open up a completely new Bitcoin chart on a different exchange on TradingView. This one's on Bitstamp, so I can come here to the top and type in BTC USD, and then open one not on Bitstamp. I can look on Bybit, right? And then if I open on Bybit, I'm gonna have a fresh new chart. From here, I can go to a 4-hour chart or a 4-hour chart. Oops. And then just start drawing what I see on a 4-hour chart. Principle of the bigger fish is that look for the trades on the bigger charts and look from the top down. Don't look from the down like a 5-minute, then look at a 1 hour, and then you're gonna panic yourself. Look at what's really happening from the top like an eagle, and then look down, and then look down for your meal. Okay. All right. Going down a little now, how BTC looks on a 4-hour chart. On a 4-hour chart, you got a nice rounding action. This is very good rounding action. So it might suggest lower prices when you have it and it clearly looks down. But let's see. You want to look at your fire lines. You probably have a fire line right here. I can clearly see it. Somewhere around here. Draw what your eye see. That's a fire line. Look. I'm gonna make it for you to see it. Okay. This is a fire line. We did a lesson called fire lines. If you're unfamiliar, go ahead and look on the website, type in fire lines, and you'll be able to see it. If you guys are a Dive member, it's one of the lessons. So take a look. I did a whole teaching on it and teach you how to draw this particular type of line. If you did a fire line, you can see that Bitcoin is sitting on there with rejection. We came all the way down there and rejecting. Drawing these type of tops, draw it out. Sometimes a fire line is a key angle. If it is, draw it at the different energy centers, draw it at the lower energy centers, and see where you see your next supports. Okay. All right, I'll put that on the website. Any other questions? According to the chart someone set on 123, DOGE goes down from 14 to 7 to 65. Wow. Oh, the fire line 46,000. Oh, let me get you a price label for that as well. All right, thank you, Vic, for your question. All right. Okay, and with that, an analysis on Dow Jones, supposedly an analysis on Dow Jones or S&P 500. Let's take a look real quick for S&P 500. All right, S&P 500, you are at a sword cut at 46.42. This is S&P 500. Let me just bring this down here. We last looked at this on March 18th. I would be watching carefully for what happens next. You either need the breakout, or you're gonna get the rejection. Okay, you did not bounce on this sword cut at all, so look for that to happen sometime in the future. You'd still need some kind of round. Be aware of that. That's going to be true with a lot of cryptos that bounced up and did not get the pullback. Draw that short cut where price crossed over for a lot of your cryptos, guys, and be aware of this happening in the future. Okay, you can stretch it out, but if you go down here, look for a bounce. Okay, we're gonna move these arrows here to these areas. Okay. The sword cut here is at 4,300. Okay, we are now the stock market has performed. You are now looking for a possible rejection or the breakout. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, I'll update the date, March 29th. All righty. Dow Jones, DOGE. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's see what we're going at here. March 5th. Poor structure, no round structure here. You can move this off to under these areas. Actually, because price did not respect this line at all, focus on this one as the possible thickness. You can lower the thickness of this line. It's not as important right here. This is interesting. On Dow Jones, on the daily chart, draw that. Oh, this is a 4-hour chart. Okay. Let's look quickly at a weekly. Yeah, neither respect on a weekly. I would even delete this line here. Unless it's a key angle. Probably is a key angle. Okay. I'm going to fade this line out because I don't need it as much. On a daily chart, you got this going on. Draw it. Make sure you draw that line. Here, make it red or some kind of white. Okay, draw that. You can see that what price is really doing is trying to build a case on top of here. You may get a pullback, but either way, you're in health. Look for the markets to start doing well. If you can continue to build structure here. Okay, I would say the market's in health. I would really want to do a deeper analysis on this, but I will say this is the area that's in health. These are your tops up here. Let's give them some price labels. $40,000 Dow Jones. Current market is 35,000. Okay. There may be a sword cut created here. Let's just draw one ready to go, but make it short, just so we know that it's still in process. Where it cuts through that cluster of candles, make it a rectangle and a range. And let's give these some labels. 34,808. Update the date. That's a quick glance at the Dow Jones. Okay. This is a more updated map. All right, how does BTC? Let me look at the last messages, guys. Good, going down a little bit according to the charts on the fire line. Night, guys. Good night, April. Bitcoin 46,000. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys about Empire. Man. Okay. Bitcoin to, yeah. What was on my Bitcoin chart? Oh, I didn't take a picture. Okay, I'll take a picture of Bitcoin. Don't worry. Okay, but I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Empire, just real quick on analysis I was running over the yesterday, and I see three things on Empire. Number one, on the daily chart, guys, for Empire, this is Empire. This is what I see as a floor. Okay, this is what I see as a floor. You guys are gonna have this on the website. These are your cores. And when I draw it on the cores on logarithmic view, I see that we're almost at a floor here with some good rounding action. I also see that there's some local lines that have been cut that gives us sword cuts in this area. And you can see that price gets trapped in here, this range. I also see we can build on here, and then we're building currently, but still underneath this red line. Now where does that come from? Well, that red line comes from key angles up here at the top. Here, Melody? Melody? What we're looking for is that connecting some of these tops here at the cores, you can see that this gives us a type of key angle we'll be looking at for our first price. Melody? What we're looking for, sure, she said forgive me. What we're looking for is price to break above here, and we're also looking for price to break above here. So possibly some money to be made on the table for Empire, but Empire could do really well once we're past this line up here around the 25 cent mark. Does not 25 cents, 0.025 cent mark. Current price is 0.010, so almost a double of your money right there if you get that. Okay, but some other things to be aware of that before you jump the gun is that on Empire, running this parabolic here, okay, Empire will do well. Well, let's look. Oops. I'll let you guys decide. Running this parabolic here, okay, on the weekly chart, I believe this is the weekly chart, I gave me this as a cut, okay? Duplicating that same line straight down gives me about these areas as a cut, here and here, because this is a long wick. There's a long wick right there. Okay, so that gives me a pretty wide range, and again, this one's around 0.33 cent, where things could get really serious. So we may have some problems above there, but also when I drew this curve here, connecting to our lowest reds, it gives me a lot different story. This now is a lot different than this. Okay, huge difference. On this one, it starts showing me that price should be having a hard time going up, and that's exactly what's happening. The good news is it's still hugging the line. But if we were starting to round, I might be concerned. But if it continues to hug it, it's going to push through, and it should be in alignment. So the higher time frame is telling me there should be weakness. The caveat that I see about that is that there's only a few candles from which to draw this story. So how much weight will I put on it? I don't know. This coin is very new. So if it was a lot more established coin, or if there was a lot more candles, I might put a lot more weight on this. But as it is, it's just weakness, but there's strength on the daily, weakness on the weekly. So this is a perfect example of how two timelines, one that's higher showing that price should be going and held down, and on the daily showing that price possibly could go up. If you get above these red lines, you should be getting above these red lines or around there. Okay, but we need to watch really carefully, and this is why it almost seems like it's perfect for either going down or perfect for going up, or getting ready to. Be aware. Remember that Prophet Robin prophesied that he said Empire has to make a decision, and depending on what decision they make, the price is going to either go up or it's not going to go up like it should. Okay, but prophetically it's supposed to do well. The other things I did is running a key angle analysis on the daily chart. Gave me lots of verifications. You guys can see it, and this is where we're really at. Here, you're going to get all these charts. You can see price spiked, sat down, and here's where we're at. If you phase through, you're going to enter into weakness. But as it is, these are three different analyses that I ran on here. I said prices at the bottom of the support with rounding action. This indicates strength. Okay. So what do you make of that? Me, I'm more inclined that it's going to be strong, but because of the whole weekly situation, I have to be a little bit cautious. I can't say one way or the other. I just know I have some Empire. Ooh, sound like a gunshot. I know I have some Empire. That's me. Okay, you guys are gonna get pictures of all of these today. Okay. All right, indecisive. Yes. All right, guys. Let me say. Let us before we end. I'm just gonna jump right into Proverbs chapter 8, and I hope you guys stick around and read this chapter with me. And I hope that I've been a blessing to you guys today as much as you guys are a blessing to me. Melody's family called her on the phone. Proverbs chapter 8. And it says, wisdom is better than rubies. Oh no, we did chapter 8, didn't we? I think we were. I don't remember if we did chapter 8 or not now. Let's just read chapter 8 and I'll put a little mark here. Does not wisdom cry? And understanding put forth her voice? She stands at the top of high places, by the way of the places of the paths. She cries at the gates and at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and you fools, be of an understanding heart. For I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be excellent things, or shall be right things. For my mouth shall speak the truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that has understanding, and right to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that he may desire cannot be compared to her. I dwell with prudence. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy. And the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yes, better than fine gold, and my revenue better than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the midst of paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before the works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there was no depth, I was brought forth, and when there was no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he had prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave the sea his decree, and he said, the waters should not pass his commandment. When he appointed the foundations of the earth, then I was by him. As one brought up with him, I was his daily delight, rejoicing always before him. Then I was by him as one brought up with him, rejoicing in the habitable part of the earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. Verse 32. Now therefore, hearken unto me, O ye children, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction, and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man who hears me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whosoever findeth me finds life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. Amen.
Praise God.
But he that sins against me wrongs his own soul. And all they that love me all that hate me love death. That's wisdom. We will read number 9 tomorrow. Put a little dot. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this time, for these people. And Lord, I thank you for the reading. I pray that as the Bible says, faith comes by the hearing, and hearing of the word of God. I pray that we acquire wisdom and that it is built deep into our innermost being. Continue giving us instruction and wisdom of all things of life, because we rely on you and we need your help. We do not know it all. We stay humble. We need your help. The Bible says that we know in part, we hear in part, we see in part, but then we will know even as we are fully known. Lord, thank you that you fully know us. And thank you, Lord, that you reveal the mysteries to your little children. Let us be mature spiritually, but in your sight, like children coming to their Father with such childlike faith, innocence. Let us take your righteousness and the new life that you give us in Christ Jesus to make us like new, brand new children in your sight. We are but children. Our lives are but a vapor here on the earth, a fleeting vapor. A flower, like the flowers that are clothed with the fields, the fields are clothed with flowers, but one day, the next day, they are gone and withered. Our lives are but a moment, but you are forever. Let us always remember the things eternal, more important, and hold them as the true treasures of our hearts. We love cryptos, trading, and we love the things. We like those things, but we love you. We like the things that you give us to do. We like planting the seeds. We like reaping a harvest. But Lord, the true treasure is you. And we love you for this. Thank you for being in our lives. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for never leaving us or forsaking us. Thank you for dying on the cross and taking our place for the punishment that we deserve for our sinful lives. For the Bible says that all have fallen and fallen short of the glory of God. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And we too have been sinners, but through you we are made into your righteousness. Give them peace, Lord. Lord, bless them, and Lord, keep them. May you make your face shine upon them. Be abounding to them with grace. Be gracious to them, Lord. Lift up your countenance towards them. Give them favor. And Lord, give them peace. Let their houses be covered with the blood of the Lamb, surrounded with fire. Lord, cover them. Love them, Lord. Give them your Holy Spirit flame every day. Lord, we thank you for your love and for your patience, Lord Jesus. Let the enemies that try to attack them, Lord, let them be thwarted. Let them be departed. Every attack against them, in Jesus' name, they are victorious. The Bible says, through Christ, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And they can do all things through Christ who strengthens them. We love you, Lord. May your name be lifted high. In Jesus' name we pray, Lord. Amen.
All the glory and honor and highest praises and thanksgiving victory belongs to your name. Lord God, our living God in heaven, in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Guys, God bless you all. I hope you guys have a great night. Good night, Mark. Good night, everyone. And for those who it's late, if you guys want to stick around, we'll be here. I'll be here for about a half an hour after class. And I'll let you guys ask questions of the group or open it. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be right back.